Namaste everyone. Let's start the class with a short prayer and then we'll chant the mantras of Vivekachudamani from 31st mantra till 35th mantra and then we'll see the explanation part. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Guru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Me Sada मोक्षकारणसामज्ञां भक्तिरेव गरीयसी स्वस्वरूपानुसन्धानं भक्तिरित्यभिधीयते स्वात्ममत्वानुसन्धानं भक्तिरित्यपरे जगुः उक्तसाधनसम्पन्नं तत्तजिज्ञासुरात्मनः उपसीदेद्गुरुं प्राज्ञं यस्माद्बन्धविमोक्षणम् श्रोत्रियो वृजिनो कामः हतो यो ब्रह्मवित्तमः ब्रह्मण्युपरतः शान्तः निरुन्धन इवानलः अहेतुकदया सिन्धुः बन्धुरानमतां सताम् तमाराध्य गुरुं भक्त्या प्रह्वप्रश्रयविसेवनैः प्रसन्नं तमनुप्राप्य पृच्छे ज्ञातव्यमात्मनः स्वामिन्नमस्ते नतलोकबन्धो कारुण्यसिन्धो पतितं भवान्धौ मामुद्वरात्मीयकटाक्षदृष्ट्या हृज्यातिकारुण्यसुधाभिवृष्यता. Okay, we are done with the chanting part. Now we'll see the explanation of each and every mantra. So I have done with the chanting, so I'll just read the mantra and then we'll see the explanation. मोक्षकारणसामज्ञां भक्तिरेव गरीयसी स्वस्वरूपानुसन्धानं भक्तिरित्यभिधीयते. Here Shankaracharya is saying that among all means and conditions which are necessary for moksha, there are for the moksha, to attain moksha, there are some means and conditions which I have already discussed in the previous mantras, right? So among all these means and conditions which are necessary to attain moksha, devotion alone is supreme. Devotion is in supreme position. All the rest of all the means and conditions are in the next levels. The supreme position is devotion is in that supreme position. So a constant contemplation of one's own true nature is devotion. So here in this mantra, what Shankaracharya is saying is, among all the means and conditions which are necessary to attain moksha, devotion alone is in the supreme position. So a constant contemplation of one's own true nature is that devotion. So he mean to say like, so one should contemplate that one's own true nature, then only this moksha is possible. So that devotion is in supreme position. That's what Shankaracharya is saying in this mantra. We'll move to the next mantra. स्वात्मतत्त्वानुसन्धानं भक्तिरित्यपरे जगुः उक्तसाधनसम्पन्नं तत्तजिज्ञासुरात्मनः उपसीदे गुरुं प्राज्ञं Yasmad Bandha Vimokshanam. Here this mantra says, few people say that bhakti is a constant inquiry of one's own self. People say like that bhakti, that devotion is constant inquiry of oneself. But one who has above all qualifications that I told you in the previous classes, that vairagya must be in supreme position. The person who want to attain moksha, for that person vairagya should be in intense. He should renounce all the desires of enjoyment and pleasures. So he should have that vairagya in intense. And also all the sixfold qualifications like shama, dama, titiksha, uparati, shraddha, samadhanam. So all these qualifications should also be in intense. That a desire to attain moksha, that should also be intense. And also that a detachment, that vairagya should also be intense. Then only that person will definitely reach to a perfect guru, and to get rid of this bondage of samsara, and also to attain moksha, that knowledge. So I'll repeat what I said. Here Shankaracharya is saying that most of the people will say that devotion is constant inquiry of one's own true self. But the person who has all these qualifications, that vairagya, which is a detachment from all the renunciation of all the pleasures and enjoyments, and also who has that eagerness to attain moksha, which is in intense with all these sixfold qualification like shama, dama, titiksha, uparati, shraddha, samadhanam. And that person will ultimately reach a teacher to attain this knowledge and to attain this moksha, and to get rid of this bondage of samsara. That's what this mantra says. We'll move to the next mantra. Shrotriyo vrujino kamaha hato yo brahma vittamaha brahmanyu parata shantaha nirindhana ivanalaha ahetu kadaya sindhu banturatmatam satam. Here this mantra says that teacher, the person who approached that guru, that spiritual teacher, that teacher is the one who is well versed in the scriptures. He is not a normal person. That teacher should be a well versed. He is a well known of all these scriptures, and who is pure. The person who is well versed in scriptures, and who is the pure, and who is unafflicted by all the desires. So that teacher should not have any desire of that enjoyment and pleasures, and that teacher should be pure, and that teacher should be well versed in all the scriptures, that spiritual scriptures. And also that teacher is a perfect knower of supreme means God, which is the moksha. So, and that teacher should be calm as a fire, and that who burnt up with its fuel, and who is the ocean of mercy, who is a intimate friend to all good people who surrender to him. So I'll repeat what I said. So Shankaracharya is saying in this mantra that spiritual teacher is the one who is well versed in all the scriptures, and who is pure, and who is unafflicted by all the desires, and who is a perfect knower of supreme, and who is calm as a fire and burnt up its fuel, and who is the ocean of mercy, and who is an intimate friend of the people who surrendered to him. So the person who want to know, who is desirous of moksha, he will definitely approach this kind of teacher to attain moksha. That's what this mantra says. We'll move to the next mantra. Tamaradhya gurum bhaktya prahvaprashraya सेवनैः प्रसन्नं तमनुप्राप्य पृच्छेज्ञातव्यम् आत्मनः. Here this mantra says, one who is desirous of moksha, that person will definitely approach that kind of teacher who has all this qualification, and that person should approach that teacher with complete shraddha and bhakti in him. And when that teacher is pleased by his bhakti and shraddha, and by that student's humility and service, that student has to approach and ask what he must know. So I'll repeat what I said. So this mantra says, so the person who is the student who is desirous to attain moksha, that student will definitely approach the teacher who has all the qualifications, and with complete shraddha and bhakti in that teacher, and the student has to worship that teacher with complete shraddha and bhakti. And when the teacher is pleased by the student's surrender and humility and service, and student will has to approach and then ask him what he must know, so what kind of knowledge he want to gain. So then for that student moksha is possible. That's what this mantra says. We'll move to the last mantra of today's class. Swamin namaste nataloka bandho karunya sindho patitam bhavando mamudvaratmiya kataksha drishtya rijyati karunya sudhabhi vristya. So the student has to approach that kind of guru with the complete shraddha and bhakti, and he should ask that teacher what he want to know. So how he need to ask: O master, O friend of all, who go to the ocean of mercy, I bow to you. Save me from this bondage of samsara with a glance of your third eye. Wholeheartedly shows nectar of the supreme grace. So that student must approach that guru with a complete shraddha and bhakti in him, like, oh master. He should not ask like a order, or just like that. That student must have complete shraddha and bhakti in that guru. Then only this moksha is possible. Complete shraddha and bhakti means with the complete devotion he need to ask. How will pray to God, like that he need to ask. He should approach like, O master, O friend of all, who bow to you, who is the ocean of mercy, I bow to you, O master. Save me from this bondage of samsara with a glance of your third eye, which shows the nectar of the supreme grace. Like that, the student need to ask that teacher. Then only this moksha is possible to him. That knowledge can be gained. So that's what this mantra says. So we are done with today's class. In the next class, we'll see the next 5 mantras. Thank you all for joining. I'll close this with a closing prayer. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ. श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ.